All right, everybody, let's close out found footage computer screen Friday with 2013's The Den, directed by Zach Donahue. Reminds me of Heather Donahue. Josh! I really don't care for that movie. And starring Melanie Papalia, I think that's how you say her name. Now, I haven't seen this movie in years, but I love this movie. I watched it when it came out. I watched it maybe one or two times after that, and I always enjoyed this movie. And it's kind of like, since I'm just watching the two Unfriended movies, rewatching those, it has a lot of similarities to Unfriended Dark Web. Like, for sure. Especially the ending. Like, I'll get to that, but such a fucked up movie, man. Like I was saying in Unfriended Dark Web, how like that shit can happen and does happen. Like this scenario, like just a girl or people being kidnapped and murdered and stuff, much more frequently happens, which is just sick, man. Like it really makes you, it really puts yourself in your own head watching movies like this because there's no way you can't. Like the whole point of like when you're watching a movie like this is that it's presented to you in a way that you can't help but think to yourself that this shit happens all the time, that there are girls that go missing all the time, and guys too, and murdered on camera and are sold into slavery and are sex slaves, and it happens all the time, and it's not stuff that people want to think about often, like it's depressing as that shit is. And some people just flat out don't want to believe it happens, but it does. And this movie does a great job of, like, in comparison to Dark Web, where they're just kind of covering up their tracks and planting the laptop for them to basically set that group of friends up to take the fall for everything they've done and cover their tracks. This movie's a lot more, involves a lot more psychological torture that they put this woman through, Liz. Just messing with everybody she loves, her boyfriend, her friend Max, her sister, like everybody that she cares about is either murdered or severely fucked with in this movie. And just all of that, the psychological trauma and torture that they put her through, and all the other girls that they've done this to, is enough on its own. But then you throw in everything that happens to her near the end and just, getting killed and stuff. It just, these people just are sick, and they just get off on seeing people suffer and seeing people in pain and dying and dead. Like, there are some sick people in the world, man. Like, it sucks to think about it, but there definitely are some sick fucks out there. And also, this movie kind of reminds me of Megan is Missing, which I think I've mentioned on the channel once or twice or something like that. That, as bad as that movie is, Megan is Missing, only movie I can think of that gave me a full-on panic attack watching that movie. Because I'm a father, I have a young daughter, and just same thing with that movie. It's just like, this shit happens all the time. And just for some reason, man, like when, like, spoilers for if anyone hasn't seen Megan is Missing, just skip 30 seconds ahead or something. But like when they show the pictures of Megan, like with the ball gag in her mouth, and she's like her hands or her arms are like through the holes in the wood and stuff, like she's trapped there. Full on panic attack. Like I've said on here before, I have severe anxiety, like half of my life, more than half now. But I couldn't fucking I couldn't like control myself, man. Like something about those two pictures they show in that movie is so disturbing, and my mind started racing fucking like 100 miles a second. just thinking, this shit really happens. Like, imagine if this happened to your daughter. Like, what the fuck would you do? And just racing until I just had a panic attack. And I had to, only movie I can think of, probably the only movie, that I had to put on pause at that scene and, like, compose myself. And, like, had to calm myself down and fucking take an extra fucking Xanax I prescribed. Like, totally fucked with me, that movie. Like, fuck that movie. I will never watch that movie again. Like, I don't care if you paid me $1,000. I would never watch Megan the Missing again. Like, that movie completely fucked with me. Like, not in a good way, obviously. In a very fucking bad way. So, fuck Megan is Missing. But the same type of ideas that it puts in your head, that this shit happens all the time, and it makes it more terrifying seeing movies like this, knowing that it's based in reality. Like, really messed up. So let's get into the movie. The whole premise of Liz documenting her online chats for months and, like, the study she's doing for her professor and her job and everything, it's a good premise. Like, it's I can't think of really any movie that has, like, a premise like that someone's doing a study on, like, live chats and documenting them all to get, like, an idea of society and, like, how people act online when their anonymity is stripped away and that they have their face exposed and you can put a face to the person. And really interesting premise. That boy at the beginning who scares her, he's a fucking little shit, man. I'll fucking do that to somebody. There's a monster in his closet, and he goes and opens the closet and then just, like, has some, like, fucking monster or ghost girl or some shit pop out and, like, captures Liz's reaction on it. Fucking asshole. What a stupid little dick. That'd wring his neck. Then the whole DenChat app is, we see so many different videos, and some of them are disturbing, some of them are hilarious, some, like, just all the gamut, like, from disturbing to hilarious to pranks to just, like I said in Unfriended, in the video for Unfriended, the first one, that when Blair gets on chat roulette, which is very similar to the Den, this app that she uses in this. Very similar, it's pretty much the same thing as chat roulette. And I said in that movie that there's no way that Blair went through, like, 7 videos and, like, more than half of them weren't dicks being waved in her face. Like, there's no way. Like, that's what chat roulette is. Like, 90% of it. It's like, I'm glad in this one that they show that a lot more often and just show how fucking sick people can be. And just, like, with one of the first videos she sees, it's just, and we see it too, just a dick waving around fucking on screen. Fucking ridiculous, man. The Indian guy, two guys and stuff, are asking, like, can you tell us how to pleasure a woman? And that his friend is getting married soon and that he doesn't know how to do it, and can you, like, show us, like, where to touch and stuff like that? And she's like, all right, goodbye, nice try. Like, so much shit. Like, the puppet dick that we see a few times in this movie, that, like, the first time we see it with the music playing from 2001 Space Odyssey, also Zach, what the hell's the name of it? I know it because fucking Fish is one of my favorite bands and they cover it all the time. Like, but it's from 2001. But the music playing and the dick rising up slowly and then, like, dancing around and then bending down and coming all over the place. That's fucking funny, man. There's some funny shit in this movie for, like, the real heavy depressing content that's this movie revolves around. There is some funny stuff. And the guy in New York City on the bike who just ends up crashing, like, on camera and everything, and she sees that. Like, this girl sees some insane shit doing her study. Like, and at one point, she messages her professor and says, like, everything is going great. Like, I documented like 350 chats or something like that. It's a lot of fucking chats to be documenting or skipping through and like seeing all fucking perverts and everything out there. A lot of fucking videos, that is 350. Fucking nuts. Um, Hacking her computer to turn it back on when her boyfriend Damien comes over and to make a video of him eating her out, and then sending it to her professor and all the board members. That's so fucked. That is so fucked up, man. To imagine that your fucking professor, your job that you're doing here for these people, for your professor and all these board members and stuff, a study that you're doing, and the professor vouched for you like heavily, and then you have a video, a sex tape sent to all of them. Dude, there's no talking your way out of that. Like, she tries to. Like, she says, like, my computer was hacked and everything. And the professor's just, like, real fucking blunt. She's just like, you look like shit. Like, I think you need to talk to somebody because you're not well right now, and just hangs up. Fucking, like, you think this woman cares about Liz a little bit more than that to just, like, abruptly hang the fucking call up like that. Like, after saying, like, you need help, like, click, like, really? Like, she doesn't have anything else to say to her. She doesn't want to hear her out. She doesn't want to figure out what's going on in her life or anything like that. I'm like, I don't know. That was kind of weird. The whole Nigerian scam thing with the guy getting on and saying, like, oh, I got to, like, $10 million down here. I need to get out of the country, and I'll give you $1 million. And I love that she addresses and says, like, has that ever worked? Because, you know, that whole scam has been going on for so long, like the Nigerian fucking scam. And just the fact that she comes out with that and says, has that ever worked? And he's just, yes. And then she just fucking switches to the next one. That's funny. And then she sees the first real fucking shit, man, when the girl is tied up and the tape over her mouth, and then she gets her throat slit and the blood starts coming out. Like, this movie has some great kills in it. Like, not a lot of gore, but like some decent amount of blood and stuff like that. Like, compared to the Unfriended movies, like, awesome. Like, really well done, the effects in this. They look really good, and because of it being in this style of being all filmed on webcam on a computer and stuff, it just adds to the realism of it. It adds to the atmosphere. It adds to the tension of those certain scenes, and it works very, very well. Like, having that extra bit of realism with the gore and the blood and stuff. Like, I felt like it was missing a little bit from, like, the Unfriended movies, but like I said in those videos, they don't really need them. Like, they don't really need blood and gore in those films. But this film definitely benefits from it. Like, for sure. And then the whole Russian roulette prank. Fucking sick bastards, man. Like, trust me, I'm sick. I got a dark sense of humor. I got a dark mind. But even I wouldn't do something like that. Like, fucking you're on a fucking chat website with random people that you could skip between, or that can, you know, skip and get to you. And then you put on this whole thing making it look like they're actually playing Russian roulette. And the second girl pulls it and her head flies back and blood sprays on the wall. And then she just, like, comes back, her head back, and she's, like, laughing and shit like that. Sadistic people, man. Like, this movie really, like I said, like, really portrays how sick our society is. Like, it really is. Like, we live in such a fucked up world, man. Like, and it just keeps getting worse. Like, year after year after year, after decade after decade. Like, it just keeps getting worse. Ever since, like, 9/11. Like, that was, like, last call, like, for this country, for the United States. It was, like, last call, fucking, like, If you were just hitting like partying age at like when 9/11 happened and stuff, like you're fucked. Like there's nothing going on in this country anymore. There's no fun. Like you don't hear any fun stories or anything anymore. It's just all just politics and fucking just depressing shit everywhere. And it really reflects the fucking times we're living in. Like it really does. And it translates so well in this movie. And just making a point of that. Of just, this is how people are. Like there are people like that, like this everywhere out there, especially on the internet. Because you have that anonymity. Why can't I say that fucking word? You're anonymous online. There we go. We'll go with that. Easier. And I'm fucking exhausted, man. I've had a long day. I mentioned in one of the videos that like a family emergency, like everybody's fine and stuff, no one's hurt. But just a long day. So I'm gonna get some good sleep after this and then do some Argento tomorrow. But and then we see Damien get kidnapped, and that's gotta be fucking so hard, man. Like she doesn't see him get kidnapped, but like later near the end, like when she sees him on the screen and she knows that he's been kidnapped too and gets beat the shit out of him or killed, like it's hard to see like in that scene, like through just like the little window screen of his webcam. But like I'm not sure if they kill him. I'm sure they do, like at some point. But like in that moment, like when she's looking at the video, can't remember or like was able to see well enough if they flat out killed him right there or if they were just beating the shit out of him. Looked like they were just beating him up, but I'm sure they killed him too. Then the stuff with the sister, the pregnant sister getting knocked out. Then later on, the guy comes to her house and Liz is seeing this on the webcam and telling her to get out of the house. And then the guy fucking comes out and knocks her out and then drags her into the room and ties her up and everything, puts tape over her mouth. And then just the fucking thing with him sliding the knife over her pregnant belly and everything. That's so sick. That is fucking so evil, man. Like that is such a disturbing scene right there. Like just something about that, like reminds me of like Inside, but like Inside light, like like much less than what we see in that movie and Inside. Like that movie's fucking insane. But just the whole fact of this guy is fucking sliding a fucking knife all around her pregnant belly. Like I forgot some scenes in this movie. Like I said, it's been years since I watched this. So I didn't remember if he killed her right then and there. Like for a second I thought he was gonna stab her in the fucking belly. And I was just like bracing for that. I was like, oh dude, like please don't do that. Like please don't do what I'm thinking you're about to do. And he doesn't, so that's good. Then when she finds when she's looking for her friend Jenny, and the hacker is saying the door's open, come on in, and all the lights are out, and she tries turning the lights on, they won't turn on, all the power is off, and she's walking slowly down the hallway. It's a very tense scene. Like they created very good tension in that scene. And you think she's dead, Jenny and stuff, and then she finds her in the bathtub with her wrist slit and calls 911, tries to get the ambulance over there, and she ends up dying within a few minutes and stuff. Fucking tense scene, man. Like really good job with that scene. Just like the slowness, like the way that she's walking, like really slow down the hallway and calling out Jenny's name, and like awesome, like very well done. Imagine watching your sister almost killed, like I was saying with the pregnant belly thing. Imagine watching that, like seeing that on your computer, seeing your pregnant sister knocked unconscious and tied up, then some guy fucking with a knife sliding it across her pregnant belly. I couldn't imagine. Like that is so fucked up. The cop at Max's place, when she notices Max is missing too and won't answer any of her calls, and then she gets a call from him on the Den app, and you see his whole place is just like torn apart, and you see the cop come in to look around, and then he sees the laptop on the ground, and he goes to look to talk to her, and the guy just comes out and fucking knocks him down and stabs him in the eye with, I'm not even sure what that was, but like stabs him right in, like, looks like the eye or the face or something like that. Really cool. Like I said, there's a lot of cool deaths in this movie and kills in this movie. And then they have the police at the sister's house and getting the stories from them of what happened. Then the cop takes Liz back to her apartment. She says she's going to pack a few things. Like, were they going to take her to a safe house? Or were they just taking her to a sister's house? Like, I don't think they mentioned that. Like, because this is the same cop, right? That's been, like, following all the crazy shit that's been happening with her. Like, when Damien, her boyfriend, disappeared and wasn't answering for days, and like all that, and with the girl getting the throat slit and everything, that was the same detective, right? So like, were they gonna put her up in a safe house somewhere because they were finally realizing that this is real and there's some fucking person after this girl and fucking with her? Or was she just gonna stay with her sister? I'm not sure. They didn't explore that or say that or anything like that. Then this cop says to her that, like, all right, I'll just be outside if you need anything. He doesn't check in after like 5-10 minutes that she's in there. Really? Like, this cop is just chilling outside, and like the fucking power's cut in her apartment. He doesn't even look up from time to time to see, like, through the window or see if anything is going on in there. Like, he searches the apartment. He didn't search it well because he missed that other fucking cop in the closet. Like, he did not do a good job securing that apartment at all. Like, a fucking terrible cop, detective, whatever he is in this movie. Like, just totally incompetent, which we see in so many horror movies. Just the dumbest cops around. Like, just seem to just always end up in horror movies. Like, for some reason. And then the guy comes out, the masked guy comes out and tries attacking her, and she has the knife, and she ends up brutally stabbing him, man. Like, you could see her snapping. Like, she stabs him like 5, 6, 7 times before she's just like, all right, I'm done. Like, he's dead. But, and she, and why is she still holding the laptop? Like, this is a thing in all found footage movies, or most of them. When everyone always says, why are they still filming? Why are they still holding the camera? Like, once she kills the one guy in the apartment, then she runs out and she's running, trying to get to the cop outside. She's running for her life after just murdering somebody. And she's still carrying her laptop with her? That's so fucking dumb. That's so stupid. She's really running with her laptop when her life is in danger and she just murdered somebody. No fucking way. Like, there's no way. It never would happen. That's so dumb. And like, imagine being knocked out and then awakening, chained up in some warehouse or what have you, any type of place that you don't know where you are. That's got to be one of the scariest situations that I can think of just coming to and realizing that you've been taken, that you've been kidnapped, and you're fucking somewhere that no one will find you, that you have no idea where you even are, and that you pretty much can deduce that you're going to be murdered. That's so fucking terrifying, man. Like, I can't imagine. Like, that is some fucked up stuff. They brought and left her laptop with her in the room she's chained up in, because they see that they have like the camera and the light, the flashlight. Like, I don't know what they did. They like fucking like nailed it into her head or something, like, 'cause she's bleeding and she tries taking it off and it's hurting her and she can't take it off. So I don't know if they like secured it to her, like, and nailed it or stapled it to her. Who the fuck knows? I wouldn't put anything past these fucking sick fucks. But like, she's still getting calls from Damien, from her boyfriend. Then she gets the call from Max, which Damien says is a pre-recorded video and everything. But like, they brought her laptop like in the room and left it there with her. Like, couldn't she just like message somebody and say like, "Help! I'm being held captive. Like, I'm probably gonna get murdered. I'm in severe danger." Like, she couldn't make a call from the laptop. Like, I'm sure, but like, because the Wi-Fi has to be on. There has to be an internet connection because she's getting the calls through the Den app. So I don't understand that at all. Like, like they really left the laptop with her. That just seems fucking stupid. That's like you're just begging for this woman to find a way to escape. Like, I don't know. That was kind of weird. Then Max being suffocated with the plastic bag. Something about that clip that she sees when Max is being suffocated. Something about that is so fucking creepy to me. And his face after he dies, after he suffocates. Just the way his face looks, like when his mouth is open and like you could see it through the bag and everything. Like, just his like face when he's dead just is so creepy. Like, it's very, very unsettling. Like, very, very cool the way that they did that scene. Then the whole ending sequence with her killing the guy and taking the keys and unlocking the chain and then running for her life through. And for a second, I thought she brought the fucking laptop with her, running through here. Are you serious? And then I forgot that she had the camera on her forehead thing. I was like, all right, good. I was like, because that would have been fucking insane. Like, he's trying to escape this place and she's running with her fucking laptop still, like, through this whole facility. Like, the fuck out of here. So I was so happy that I remembered that she had the fucking camera and the flashlight on her forehead and everything that they put there. But like, what an intense ending. Like, with her just going, and all the guys are trying to capture her, and she's a badass, man. Like, she fucking grabs a hammer, and she's beating them in the face with the hammer, and like, then when she gets outside, she's trying, when the car pulls up, the alarm's going off in the facility, and this car pulls up with like 3 of them. She runs past one and whacks him in the face with the hammer, and he hits the ground. Like, she's a fucking badass, man. Like, too bad she doesn't survive this. Then she escapes and gets in the car, and we think she's gonna be all right. She escaped, and then all of a sudden, the other car just plows right into her, right into the car she's driving, and she's knocked out. And then we see this footage with this new girl who's using the app, and what a fucking great ending. Like, what a grim ending, which I love grim endings, but such a dark, disturbing ending, but very well done. When she's looking on the chat app and everything, and then she sees, she gets a call from Liz's account, and she opens it, and then it's just a still picture, and she asks, "Is your webcam broken?" And she says no. Then they just show the fucking footage of her hanging with the bucket by her feet. And it's again like what I'm saying, like, these people just get off on psychologically torturing these girls, and before they even come close to killing them. Like, they killed her boyfriend, almost killed the sister, they killed her friend Max, all to just keep fucking with her mind and just pushing her further and further into just fucking insanity. Like, you'll fucking lose your mind over seeing all that type of shit. Like, are you serious? Like, the extreme stress that she must be going through before she even gets kidnapped is insane. But then, like, after she's taken and wakes up in there, like, I could not imagine. Like, that is a fate that I would not wish on anybody. And she sees the video, and we see Liz hanging there with that they're hanging her and stuff, and they kick the bucket away, and we think that she's just going to hang to death. But they just do it just to fuck with her more, because then they cut her down, and they let her live. And you think, what the alright, so they're letting her live? Then they pull out the gun and just fucking shoot her right in the head, and the blood sprays everywhere. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Like, really, really good. Very well done, very well shot, very surprising. The first time you see this movie, like, when that happens, it's like that's a holy shit moment right there, like, for sure. And then we have the ending scene, and I never remembered how similar the end of this is to Unfriended Dark Web. Like at the end of that one, when it pans out and you see the monitors and everything and the people watching and everything. Then in this, where we see this father who's looking on this website, and it shows that they're like to see Liz's story. And then it says if you want to see other people's stories. And it said there's like, I forgot the number, but there's thousands of videos of different victims on this website, which is so scary. Like, that's so fucking disheartening, man. Just knowing this shit happens and knowing that this is fucking reality. This is the sick reality that we live in, with these deranged people out there that can do shit like this. And it even says, like, you have to have a premium account. So he takes his credit card out and he signs up. And he shows that it says that there's like 150 hours of footage for like everyone's story and stuff. Sick shit, man. Fucking 150 hours worth of fucking video and hacked computers and webcam footage. That's some shit. I wonder how much that shit costs. Like, for the father who's like looking to like buy one of them. Wonder how much they charge for 150 hours of video of basically a fucking torture and snuff film. I don't know, curious, but not that I'd ever fucking sign up for anything like that. But just curious on how much they charge. Fucking, I don't know, is it the same amount as like an internet porn site? I'd imagine not. I'd imagine it's much higher than that. But they take credit cards, which is fucking weird to me. They take credit cards for this website that is advertising and selling torture films and murder films to anybody who wants to pay for them, but they take credit cards. Like, don't you want like no fucking trail at all that can lead back to this whole organization or whoever the fuck these people are? I don't know. That's fucking weird. Then the son comes in and says like, "Daddy," and he immediately shuts it off, and that's the end. Awesome movie. Absolutely, really love this movie, and I really enjoyed rewatching it for the first time in many years. And just it was funny how this night played out with all three of these movies, all through webcam and computer screen and stuff, and just the similar themes and similar threads that run through all of them. Yeah, lots and lots of fun rewatching these three. That's gonna be it from me, guys, for the night. I'm gonna just put some random thing on and fall asleep to it. And tomorrow kicks off Argento August. So, like I said in a few videos, if you guys are Dario Argento fans, definitely check out the videos this weekend, because I will be covering the Animal Trilogy of Bird with Crystal Plumage, Cat o' Nine Tails, and Four Flies on Grey Velvet. And then just keep going down his filmography on Sunday and then every other weekend till the end of this month. So, alright guys, fun found footage Friday, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good night or morning wherever you're from, and stay safe. Take care.